Hi there everybody, it's Rosie here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you for joining me today for a card making video featuring these three lovely colours. So this is my Inspire Create Challenge card, inspiration for all of you to take part in our colour challenge that we've got running. So some really lovely colours. This is one of my favourites, Blackberry Bliss. Okay, absolutely love this sort of rich purpley colour. And we've got one of our returning colours called Lost Lagoon. This was an in colour when I joined, and I remember really liking it and not realising it would only stick around for a limited time. But glad to see that that's back, and that's a lovely pairing together. And then we've got the beautiful Lemon Lolly, which is a lovely soft yellow colour. So that's the colour challenge we've got on. So please do click in the link in below to go straight to the challenge. Have a look at what the other design team members have made, and also you can use that post to upload a link to your photo gallery. And this is the card that I made. I've got loads of Wink of Stella on there as well, just to sort of give it some sparkle. But this features the Enchanted Butterfly stamp set, which is this one. Okay, so these key images, and you can actually flip the stamps over and use the back, which is why we've got these sort of grey images on the front here. So if you sort of use the reverse, you can get an alternative image there. And then I pulled in this Timeless Charm stamp set for the sentiment. Thanks for all you do. Okay, so these two are actually reasonably new to my collection, so thought I'd use those today. Okay, so that's what we're going to sort of leap off from to make an alternative card. Okay, so I'm going to stick with the sentiment using the Blackberry Bliss, just because it's of the three, I think it's the nicest colour that we can use for our sentiments, because it's got it's a nice dark colour that can be read easily. So we're just going to pop that on there. So this is just the sentiment from that Timeless Charm stamp set, and we're going to use one of the Stylish Shapes dies, one of these lovely banners, to cut that out. So we're just going to use that font there to line that up across the top, and we're going to take it off to one side so that we can then embellish across the rest of it. Okay, so we can just run that through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. This will also fit through the mini cut and emboss, but I have my big boss just here ready, so that's what I'll be using today. So we'll just run that through, and then that's ready for our project. So if I just peel that away, that's our sentiment done. Okay, just pop that to one side. So instead of the flower, we're actually going to use the butterfly in the set as our focal image. So I'm just going to use the Blackberry Bliss ink again and just stamp that onto a scrap piece of cardstock like so. And we're not going to be using Blackberry Bliss again, I don't think, so we'll just pop that to one side, and I'm just going to give this stamp a clean. And then we'll just need to, so I do like to get those dark colours off my stamps quite quickly, especially with the photopolymer. I'm going to grab Wink of Stella glitter brush pen, okay, and we're going to just run over the image with that, and with the dark inks in particular, the colour runs and kind of gives you this nice soft, almost watercoloured, I suppose it is watercoloured, kind of look to it. and you get some sparkle to boot. Okay, so that's just pulled all that colour into the, from the line art into the image. Okay, and of course for our card we're going to have to fussy cut that out, so I'm just going to take our beautiful paper snips, which are lovely and sharp, and we're going to go around and fussy cut this image. So the flower's really easy to cut round, and it's got points on the end of the petal, so it's quite easy just to sort of run off the edge. But when you've got something a little bit more intricate, so you saw very clearly there, I held my scissors straight but twizzled the paper. To get round these images. Okay, just going around real slow and opening the scissor blade and then gently applying pressure while twizzling the paper. To come around that image. Okay. And obviously if you want to cut off these excess you can. Just all the way around. Whoops. Like so. There we are. I've actually done 3 of those, so we've got some to play with. Okay. So that's our Blackberry Bliss elements all done there. And then I'm going to bring in a sheet of basic whites. So this is cut to my usual sort of full card layer. So this is a 4" by 5 3/4 piece of cardstock, which I'm just going to put on this mat here, and we're going to create a background on this. Okay, so on this one, okay, I used this stamp to create that background. Okay, but in the set we've also got these, we've got this one and we've got this one. Okay, and I had a little bit of a play around with this, and we're going to use both of those to make like a sort of tiled background. So we're going to use the lemon lolly first with this larger image. So what I'm doing is just making sure that this is sort of straight. Okay, and then what I've done also is mounted this on the block so that it's straight too. Okay, now we could use a ruler as well, just to help us a little bit, just to make sure that that's going to go down kind of straight in the first instance, so that we've got something that we can then build our image on. So I'm just going to reposition that just for a second. So your grid paper would do as well, so if you want to use your grid paper you can. Anything you've got with some kind of gridded surface that can help you start on this background. And I'm just thinking, I'm just going to start in the middle, somewhere around here. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it probably looks better that it's not. And then once you've got your first one down, you'll be able to line up these sort of little design elements along the way. Okay. Now, if it means you've got to, oops, sorry, I almost head-butted you there. If you've got to sort of twizzle your cardstock around, I might need to bring this closer to me. Sorry, guys. Just going to line that up there. Those two little bits there. It is a symmetrical shape, so even if you're twizzling it around, it's still going to line up. Okay, so we're going to do that, but the next one I'm going to actually go in between. Oops, I'm going to stop that down where I didn't want it there. So I'm just looking through the stamp block between those two there, and just positioning that down, and now you've got a reference point at the top and to the left for your next image. Okay, and again, it's a bit harder to be precise while you guys are just there above my head, so I can't get quite over the top of the image as much as I would like. However, obviously at home you'll have much more time and you'll be able to see what you're doing. Hopefully this gives you an idea and a starting point to use these stamps to create this little fun background. I'm not covering the whole card, I was just going to do the 3 lines. Okay, that gives you an idea. In fact, do you know what I am going to do? I think I might just finish it off actually, because I think it might look a bit odd if I just leave it the way it is. Like so. So just keep going across just to finish off that pattern in between the one you've done before, line it up with the one next door. And then once you've got going, it kind of becomes easier. Okay, so that's how we can build up a background with that. But I thought, because we've got the other colour to introduce, we can use this smaller stamp and then the Lost Lagoon, and this actually fits in the centre of these. And again, if you're not quite bang on, probably not going to matter too much. And like I say, it's not the optimal conditions because, like I say, I would like to be really over the top of this. I keep, my head keeps touching the camera above my head, so. Okay, but you get the idea. That open space, and it's all symmetrical, so you can twizzle and turn it around to make it easier. Just this one now. Did think about potentially, you know, you could even go in between them if you were doing them in a straight row as well. So I think there's loads of potential for this set. This one on its own would be easy to line up to. Obviously it's a smaller image, but you know, if you're just doing something small, or if you've got the patience to do something bigger, whichever, that will stamps beautifully in a nice little pattern as well. So there's loads of versatility with this set, which you probably wouldn't necessarily think when you first look at the set. But like I say, it just gives you a bit of a fun background there. Okay, and then what I did do on the original card was I just sort of softened that a little bit with a blending brush, just to take off that white edge, but that's totally optional. You don't have to do this at all. Just trying not to make sure I go into that Lost Lagoon bit that's there. Okay, so that's totally optional, and you don't have to do that at all, but just so that you know you can do that, then that's cool. Rightio, so this is just going to go onto a white card base. So we can just use our Stampin' Seal for that. Nice and straightforward. Little fluffy bit there. So this stamp set has sort of surprised me actually. It wasn't a set that I bought straight away. I've ended up adding, you know, buying it afterwards from when the catalogue was released, but I've been really surprised at how versatile it is. So this is our sentiment banner that I've just popped a dimensional on one end, and then just some stamp and seal on the other, so that this bit is raised but this bit is flat, which means we can build on our other bits and pieces. Okay, so obviously we've got our lovely little butterflies that we can just bend and crease into shape. So just use your fingers to do that. And so I've got 3, just so that we can build this up really nicely. So for things with a bit of dimension, I do tend to go with the multi-purpose glow. So if we just put a nice blob of this onto the oops, just get that bead of glue off the end of there. So if we just put a blob on there and get this one into position where we want him, we can then pop these other ones on as well, if you can pick them up. So we can have these sort of dancing about. It breaks up that background as well, so you can have them under and over each other, flying about. And that wet glue just gives you time just to sort of make sure they're flying the way you want them to. Different angles, like so. And then I just give them a bit of a press. Okay, and any glue that might squidge out will dry clear. And just to finish off, because we can, we'll just add some pearls to that. Okay, so I've got the iridescent pearls here, and these have got sort of that sort of purpley kind of hue to them if you've got them in the right light and everything. So these come in 2 sizes, and they just look really pretty, and just give the card just another little thing for the recipient to then have a look at. Okay, so that's my card done for the video. Okay, and then this was the one that started it. Okay, so this background was built in very much the same way, lining up the stamp and just offsetting it in this particular case, but you could equally just do that in rows as well. Okay, so 2 ideas there using those 3 colours. Really nice set of colours to work with. So just to remind you, it was Blackberry Bliss, Lost Lagoon and Lemon Lolly, and I just think that's just a really delightful set to play with. Really pleased with it. And as I say, I've got loads of other ideas that have sort of come about just by playing with all the images. Okay, so that's it for today, and like I say, if you just pop along to the link, there's an opportunity there to see all the other creations from the design team, and like I say, it's an opportunity for you to upload an image that of a card or a project that you've made using these colours. Thanks ever so much for joining me. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.